Welcome to the pod, everyone. I'm Michael, joined as always by my co-host Lee. And today we are diving deep into what Lee calls the macroeconomics of the postseason. We're talking about the 12-team college football playoff, not as a tournament, but as a massive financial clearinghouse.
That's exactly right, Michael. The 2025-26 college football playoff has delivered thrilling on-field drama and unprecedented financial stakes, reshaping the college sports landscape. As the playoff field narrows to the final two teams, the excitement of the semifinals merges with economic forces, from lucrative payouts and coaching bonuses to player gifts and major city windfalls.
Today, we're going to take an in-depth look at the games, the teams, and the business machinery behind this year's CFP, making sense of how money and competition intersect on the road to Miami.
The path to the 2025-2026 CFP National Championship was set after two explosive semifinal showdowns that I was very wrong about, solidifying this season as one of the most memorable in recent history. With the dust settling from the Fiesta Bowl and the Peach Bowl, the focus now shifts to the grand finale here in Miami.
All the while, the season's economics, ranging from player swag to coaching bonuses, have reached a fever pitch, amplifying the stakes on and off the field.
And those semifinal results, just to recap one more time, the Fiesta Bowl, which was in Glendale, Arizona, you had number 10 Miami continuing its Cinderella run by upsetting number 6 Ole Miss in a 31-27 thriller on Thursday night. The Hurricanes quarterback Carson Beck clinched the win with an electrifying 18-yard touchdown run, leaving only 18 seconds on the clock. The upset not only stunned fans, but also carried major ramifications for the season's financial bonuses and the CFP's narrative.
All right, let's talk about the Peach Bowl first. In Atlanta, Georgia, number 1 Indiana remained undefeated. I believe they were 14-0 going in and are currently 15-0 now. Steamrolling number 5 Oregon 56-22 on Friday night. The Hoosiers' relentless offense proved too much for the Ducks, showcasing why Indiana is the nation's top-ranked team and setting up a championship clash that promises fireworks.
So the championship, the highly anticipated title game, features number 1 Indiana against number 10 Miami on January 19th, 2026 at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. With both teams riding waves of momentum, the championship is set to be a can't-miss event. But behind the pageantry of bowl season lies a sophisticated financial system that rewards performance and participation. Now, with the expanded 12-team playoff, it also has significantly increased broadcast inventory, which in turn drives up performance-based payouts.
Here's a breakdown of how the money flows in the 2025-26 CFP cycle. Selection base, $4 million per team selected for the playoff field. And then you have the quarterfinal performance. Teams receive an additional $4 million for reaching the quarterfinals. The semifinal performance, advancing again to the semifinals, adds $6 million. And then the national championship appearance, a further $6 million is awarded for making the championship game.
So that's a total potential performance payout. Total potential performance payout.
Say that 3 times fast.
Total potential. You can't. You say it 3 times fast.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so that's a total potential performance payout of $20 million per school for a title run.
Total potential performance buyout.
excluding travel stipends. So on top of these payouts, each participating team also receives a travel/expense stipend of $3 million per game. And that's whether or not you travel, right? So for those hosting a first round matchup on their campus, this stipend turns into an immediate profit. Total, because the travel costs are minimal because it's on your campus, but the payout is fixed. So who keeps all that money?
The CFP operates as a centralized clearinghouse, distributing funds based on team success. But how much each school ultimately keeps depends on conference bylaws, which vary widely.
Yes. So the ACC model is performance driven. After a 2024 settlement, which was a fascinating case, right? The ACC allows schools like Miami to earn 100% of their CFP payouts. right? Which is now 14 million through the semifinals.
All righty. We have the Big Ten / Big 12 model, also known as the socialist / equalitarian. These conference pools these conferences pool all CFP revenue and distribute it equally among member schools, regardless of participation.
I just love that it's the socialist model. Anyway, so the SEC model is a hybrid, right? Teams received fixed participation shares, like let's say 3.75 million for a semifinal, while surplus funds are redistributed to the conference at large. But the postseason does not just impact teams and schools. Coaching contracts are also put to the test.
This year's playoff season spotlighted a unique phenomenon, the external bonus liability. In certain cases, a coach's previous employer, or even their new one, may be responsible for paying performance bonuses triggered by postseason achievements. One example of this is the Lane Kiffin LSU paradox.
In one of the most unusual financial arrangements in college sports, LSU is paying bonuses to Lane Kiffin for Ole Miss playoff success even after he left for Baton Rouge. When Kiffin departed for Oxford on November 30th, his exit agreement required LSU to assume responsibility for any postseason performance incentives he was due. So after Ole Miss sadly fell in the Fiesta Bowl semifinals, LSU's obligation to Kiffin reached its final total.
And as Ole Miss advanced under interim coach Pete Golding, Kiffin triggered several bonuses from LSU's budget. $150,000 for the CFP bid, $250,000 for the first round victory, $500,000 for the Sugar Bowl quarterfinal win, $750K for a title game appearance, the Fiesta Bowl win, and the $1 million for a national championship win.
So since Ole Miss was eliminated in the semifinals, LSU now owes Kiffin $900,000 within 30 days. This covers the bonus for Ole Miss reaching the semifinals. Had the Rebels advanced further, Kiffin could have pocketed an additional $750,000, like Michael just said, for a title game appearance, or $1 million, or plus $1 million for a national championship win. Bonuses that LSU was saved due to Miami's upset.
And what about Curt, how do you say that? Cignetti in Indiana, the market review clause.
I think this is brilliant. Whoever negotiated his contract, this is just brilliant. So it also shows how much he believed that this team would be where it is very quickly. So Indiana's head coach also found his contract in the spotlight thanks to a, quote, good faith market review, end quote, clause in his 8-year, $93 million deal. Reaching the semifinals means Indiana must adjust his salary to match at least the nation's third highest paid coach, which is around $13 million annually. If a new agreement isn't reached within 120 days, and I believe that they already did this, Cignetti can leave without paying the standard $15 million buyout, giving the coach considerable leverage after Indiana's stunning playoff run.
Let's pivot to the players. In this post-House settlement era, the players are the direct economic actors. We're looking at revenue sharing caps of around $20.5 million per school.
And it's getting litigious. I love that word, litigious. We're seeing reports of Washington taking legal action against a player who allegedly signed a $2.6 million revenue sharing deal and then hit the transfer portal anyway. And of course, there's the University of Georgia fiasco, which, by the way, I'm covering both of these cases in depth this week on Tuesday night and Thursday night with live premieres. So mark your calendars. See below in the comments for details, but I digress. Let's get into the swag the players received.
Beyond the scoreboard and contracts, players in the CFP receive their own slice of postseason rewards. Under NCAA rules, bowl committees may provide up to $550 in gifts per player. This year, the bowl gift suites leaned into tech and luxury, blending tradition and with innovation. And here's what the athletes took home.
Okay, so for the quarterfinal bowls, all the players visited a $550 gift suite, and they received a Fossil watch. And then for the individuals, so everybody in the quarterfinals got to visit the gift suite and got a Fossil watch. And then if you were in the Rose Bowl, they added on no idea how to say this, OGIO backpack.
While the Sugar Bowl added on a new era cap and the Orange Bowl added a Toomey backpack.
And the Cotton Bowl added a commemorative football.
And for the semifinals, Ole Miss and Miami players received a Circle AI fragrance platform for custom designed scents, Fiesta Bowl varsity jacket, custom bump box, and branded duffel bags.
And the Peach Bowl teams, which would be Indiana and Oregon, received a $390 vanilla a $390 vanilla Visa gift card, a Fossil watch, and a commemorative football.
And what will Miami and Indiana players receive for making it to the CFP National Championship here in Miami?
Well, some sort of iconic gift, right? It's typically a high-end luxury watch, a $500 gift card, exclusive championship apparel. I got to say, it's a lot of watches when you look back over everything. Depending on what bowl game you were in, some of these players are coming away with 2 Fossil watches and a third high-end luxury watch. But, Michael, I have to wonder how long it's going to be before these players are getting bonuses like their pro players or like the coaches. I mean, I don't feel like we're too far away from that.
At the moment, I don't have any thought on it, but when it does happen, I'm sure I'll have quite a bit to say.
As you know, I will as well.
We all know.
Yeah. So I have a fun trivia fact that seems applicable here for you, Michael, and for all of our subscribers tuning into this lovely podcast.
Yes.
Well, so while the CFP bowls drive the majority of postseason revenue, there's a lot of other bowls, right? And so the Game Above Sports Bowl in Detroit stands out for its unique ownership and community impact. So it was formerly called the Quick Lane Bowl, and it is the only bowl game that is owned, hosted, and operated by an NFL franchise, which I think is fascinating. So it's the Detroit Lions, right? So it's played at Ford Field, and this bowl is a major marketing tool for the Lions and a pillar of Detroit sports, of the Detroit sports economy. In the 2025 edition, held December 26, Northwestern defeated Central Michigan 34-7. I know, though. So it's not CFP sanctioned, but the bowl is a model for successful NFL collegiate partnerships, right? Blending local tradition with natural national exposure, which I happen to think is really awesome.
As do I. But how about we look at the macro impact the CFP series has on the cities? The expanded CFP has transformed bowl season into a traveling economic juggernaut. In 2025 and 26, the CFP bowl games are projected to inject over $1.3 billion in their host cities.
Yep, and that's awesome, right? The 12-team format means more games, more fans, more economic impact. It benefits hotels, restaurants, local businesses at every stop.
Let's talk about the New Orleans Sugar Bowl. Led all the quarterfinal hosts with an estimated $300 million in local spending with the Pasadena Rose Bowl, generally approximately $245 million, buoyed by the tradition and tourist appeal of the classic game.
And the Fiesta Bowl in Glendale, it's projected that that the CFP is going to deliver $200 million in combined impact for Arizona, including earlier bowl events. With the Atlanta Peach Bowl, the semifinal showdown contributed to an annual $130 million boost for the city's sports tourism.
And Miami had both the Orange Bowl and we'll have the national championship.
Yep.
With both games in South Florida, the region anticipates a combined windfall exceeding $320 million.
I just wish the tickets were over $2,500.
Yeah, they're pricey.
Up in the nosebleed section. So, and here's the other cool thing. So even single sellout home games for a campus site during the first round can add $6 to $7 million to a college town like Bloomington. So it's a surge weekend economy that these towns live for.
So the takeaway, the CFP isn't just a game, it's a clearinghouse for media rights, travel hospitality, and professionalized labor. And if you're not looking at the balance sheet, you're only seeing half the game.
The 2025-2026 CFP has proven that college football's path to the top is paved as much by financial acumen as it is by blue chip recruiting. With billion-dollar impacts involve coaching contracts and player experiences that blend tradition and luxury, the postseason is more than just a series of games. It's a showcase of modern sport business. And as Miami prepares to host the national championship, the intersection of competition and commerce has never been more fascinating.
Thanks for nerding out with us. And don't forget to check out Lee's Legal Watch live premieres this week on Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
And Tuesday as well. Tuesday
and Thursday.
Yes. You're listening to the AAA Ball and Play podcast. Quick note, this is for education and entertainment. Nothing here is legal, tax, or financial advice, and nothing we say creates an athlete-agent relationship. Listening or contacting us does not make us your lawyers or your agents. For advice, talk to a qualified professional in your state.